Hello, my friends. Here I am, Pedro Candeias from Portugal. I'm the founder of Karate Science Academy and the responsible for all the evidence-based content we post in Karate Science Academy. Today, I bring you the fifth weekly open class, okay? And it's about Olympic weightlifting and the role that Olympic weightlifting can have in the development of speed, power, strength, of your kumite or kata athletes. Okay, I hope at the end of this class you are able to critically analyze how this method can be useful. Okay, and when should you really use it in your athletes strength training program. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let me tell you that I'm not going to go into the technical part of Olympic weightlifting, but only the how you can use it, or if it's is it the best method you can use to your community or kata athletes. So we are going to stick just on the utility this method may have to your power and speed program in your dojo. Okay. Well, first of all, what Olympic weightlifting is. For those who are not familiarized with this kind of exercise, okay, um, let me say that nowadays we have two groups, okay, in very opposite points. We have one group that thinks this is a devil, okay, a very dangerous method, okay, that is has a very high risk of injury, but that's not true because as any other training method, the problem is not with the method, but the way you use it. Okay, if you do the right progressions, if you use the right loads to the capacity of your athletes, if the technique is good, there is no higher risk in the Olympic weightlifting compared to any other strength, power, and speed method. Okay, there is no problem. The problem is only you as a coach if you're not really ready to teach this and work this with your athletes. Okay, that's the problem and that's the danger. Okay, in the other side, we have the group that nowadays thinks this is a fashionable method that will solve all the problems, that is the miraculous solution to develop the most power that you can in an athlete, and that's not also true. Okay, so let's try to answer to this question, okay, in this lesson, because the answer is most of the times in the middle. Okay, so first of all, what Olympic weightlifting is, I'm going to show you a very brief video. Here we have a technique called snatch, here the clean and jerk. Okay, there are some differences between them. If you if you're not familiarized with this, let's see it again. In the snatch, the athlete comes from a lower position compared to the clean and jerk, and then he raises, he lifts the bar over his head um, in a very deep squat, and then goes up. In the clean and jerk, the athlete begins in a higher position, and the movement he does is slightly different. The bar goes to the shoulders, and then from there it goes above the head. Okay, these are the what I call the original movements of Olympic weightlifting. This is not a technical terminology, is what I use for myself. These are the movements we can see in Olympic weightlifting, okay, in competition. So this is what I'm talking about when I speak about Olympic weightlifting. Okay, now let's see another video from Oleg Torokti, okay, a former Olympic medalist in Olympic weightlifting, is going to perform the snatch, okay. The His videos are very good. If you want to go a little deeper in the technical part of Olympic weightlifting, go to his YouTube channel. The link is in the description below, and you can see some details because the videos are very good. You can also follow another great athlete, Dmitry Klokov, and he has long videos in this YouTube channel that explains every detail. If you want to go deeper in this, um, here you have. Okay, then we have the clean and jerk, and let's talk about briefly of two important points you have to take into account when you want to integrate this method in your training. Okay, the first one is the called triple extension of the lower limbs. Okay, and that's one of the most important arguments in favor of Olympic weightlifting, because, for example, a displacement in kumite or kata or any other sport demands a triple extension, okay, a coordinated movement between the hips, the knees, and the ankles, and that movement pattern is present in the Olympic weightliftings. Okay, let's see it, for example, here in the snatch. In slow motion, we can see it better, but let's watch it. Oleg Torokti, once again, he goes from a very low stance in the snatch. Now let's look what happens to his legs. He tries to move very fast from that position. He tries to move the bar very fast. That's another specific argument in favor of Olympic weightlifting. Look here: hips, knees, and ankles. Everything is is extending, okay, in a coordinated movement, and the athlete also lifts the heels off the ground to stimulate the more power in the movement and more power in the muscles involved in the ankle extension. Okay, and this is really a movement that is present in a displacement in karate, for example, so, or in a jump. So the is one of the biggest arguments in favor of the Olympic weightlifting is this triple extension. Okay, it must be present. Then we have also a detail that the bar must go as close as possible to the body during the entire movement. Okay, in the legs, in the trunk, when it goes up, and that's important to take into account in the technical part of the movement. Okay, so let's answer the main question, the central question of this class. Is Olympic weightlifting so effective as coaches and athletes think to develop muscle power? Because this will be the decisive point of using it or not in our karate athletes strength, power, and speed training program. Okay, so first of all, is Olympic weightlifting effective to develop power, muscle power? Yes, it is. Okay, so it can be a method that you have available, okay, in the right spot, in the right situation, so we can just dismiss it because it's effective, okay, and it can be a good alternative for certain situations. But no, it's not the miraculous solution many coaches and athletes think, and the results of evidence-based studies show that Olympic weightlifting is as effective as other rapid strength methods, as plyometrics, ballistic training, etc. And there are studies that comparing Olympic weightlifting to a mix of two or three rapid strength methods. Okay, the results of this second group are better. Okay, so for example, if you link plyometrics with traditional power training, for example, you will have better results compared to Olympic weightlifting. So this takes us to the question: if it's that, for what kind of athlete can it be good or useful? Okay, um, there we are talking about very advanced athletes. Okay, so let's see this in this way. An Olympic weightlift, okay, a snatch, a clean and jerk are very complex movements, okay. Technically, they take a lot of time to master, okay. And we, as karate coaches, we know that our athletes have several variables to manage to develop so they can be really good in kata or kumite, right? So we have to take good decisions in choosing the methods that will be not only effective but also efficient. Okay, we can't lose time. We don't want to lose our athletes time because time is precious. And when we have athletes that despite they are on the top of their countries, for example, they the great majority dedicates 3 4 hours a day training for to get there. And we can't forget that our athletes are kumite and kata athletes, are not Olympic weightlifters. Okay, so we must dedicate most of the time to the specific practice of karate. Okay, there is no doubt about that. And when we go to the physical training, to the strength and conditioning training, we must choose effective but also efficient methods to not waste our athletes' time. Okay, and in my opinion, if Olympic weightlifting is not more effective compared to the other rapid strength methods. If you want to know more about the several types of strength we have, the several methods we have to develop power for karate, please watch the class number 1 because it's dedicated to the 4 training zones of muscle power, and you will have all the answers there. So if Olympic weightlifting is not more effective than simpler methods as ballistic training, as the traditional power training, even plyometrics, okay, that you can learn faster. So we must use the Olympic weightlifts in very, very specific situations, but not giving it a priority, for example. Okay, so if you have very advanced athletes that already tried all the methods and they had results, but they are in a stage where they are feeling some stagnation in their power and speed development. For example, you explored plyometrics, you achieved, if I can say that, you achieve the limits of plyometrics, of ballistic training, of explosive strength with maximal loads, and you feel your very advanced athlete really need a new stimulus. Okay, sometimes that's important because the athlete enters in a monotony. Okay, a training monotony that will make him or her to stagnate a little. Okay, it's hard to improve from there. Okay, so sometimes they only need a new stimulus. They only need their central nervous system only need a new challenge, a different challenge. So Olympic weightlifting is not better, but if it's a new challenge, a new stimulus for someone that already trained a lot in the other methods, they may have results because of that new challenge. Especially when we are talking about very advanced athletes, um, probably they will have amazing levels of coordination. they won't lose a lot of time to master the movements, the Olympic lifts, and they in a couple of sessions will dominate it, and you can put the correct load to stimulate their power using the snatch or the clean and jerk. Okay, that's a situation where the Olympic weightlifting can be useful. Okay, always remember this: a really professional coach in training methodology for karate must have all the tools, okay, available. And then in this, when he identifies, when you identify a very specific situation where a certain tool that is not commonly used, but in that specific situation, you have a very specific tool that will fit perfectly there. Okay, and that's what I try to teach with Karate Science Academy. If you have all the tools, you have more solutions, even for those situations where you don't know what to do. Okay, so another situation that can happen is, for example, you have an athlete not so advanced as the example I gave, but is an athlete that for some reason is not really motivated with the other methods, plyometrics, ballistic, all of those hypotheses. Okay, so but someday he watches a video on YouTube, he sees a top level athlete from karate or other sport doing Olympic weightlifts, and he or her gets in love. Okay, gets in love with that method and really wants to master it, to learn it. Is highly motivated to perform the Olympic lifts. So take that advantage of that highly motivated period of that athlete, and it might be a good option, a good choice in that very specific situation. Most of the athletes will love plyometrics, ballistic, etc., but you may have an athlete, although he or her is just an intermediate athlete, but for some reason he or her is not really motivated with the other methods, and Olympic weightlifting can be the turning point. Okay, and if it's effective, let's use it and don't have any problem, okay, or any taboo with that. Okay, it's another situation. Or for example, an athlete, a professional athlete, some countries really have professional athletes like Spain, United States, Japan, France, where they have athletes which job profession is training karate to compete for 8 hours a day. Okay, and it's also a situation where Olympic weightlifting may have its role because they have plenty of time to explore new stimuli, but we know that 99% of the kumite or kata athletes don't have that chance and must be highly efficient in time management of their training. Okay, so well, before I tell you the best way to integrate the Olympic lifts in your Kumite or Kata athletes training program, let me remember you that I always share a summary in PDF format in our Telegram group. The link to go there is below the video in the description, and is where I share when the classes are available, the new classes, where I share the PDFs of these classes, where I share another other important informations. So go there, okay? It's free and you will like it. Is a very easy app to use, okay? And don't remember that if you are not subscribed in our YouTube channel, make it, do it with the notifications activated, because most of the classes will be available for just 1 week. Okay, when I publish a new one, I eliminate the last one, so I can really filter those who want to go with me very deep in training methodology specific for karate. Okay, so let's see. Many coaches that like that see the advantages of Olympic weightlifting because of the triple extension, because it's a very explosive way of training, and that's very important for many sports that demand power production, like combat sports. We have that too in committee and kata, football, tennis, every kind of track and field, every sport that demands uh, the power production with especially with the lower limbs. The Olympic weightlifts are getting more and more attention from the coaches and the athletes. So what they identified as the biggest disadvantage in the Olympic original movements was the complexity of the technique, of performing the whole movement, and especially the phase where the bar is over the head. Okay, because it's the part that takes the athlete in more risks of injury. Okay, is the one that takes more time to master, and the load you can lift above the head is always lower than the load you can lift in the first phase of the movement, until here, for example, in the clean and jerk. So what they tried, what they made, was to dissecate the original movements in smaller parts, okay, in simpler parts, and then they started to use what we can call variations, or in the academic world they call derivatives of the Olympic weightlifts, and they have the advantage of being easier to learn. Okay, we don't lose so much time to learn them, and the load you can add, especially to the phases until you put the bar in your shoulders, um, can be higher. So the stimulus to the lower limbs, uh, um, especially, will be greater. And studies demonstrate that the results you may have with the derivatives, the variations, are higher, are greater in terms of power compared to the original movements, the snatch or the clean and jerk. Okay, so it has advantages. You can use these type of variations and add the Olympic lifts, not the regional movements, to your athletes program. Okay, I'm going to show you here some examples from a video I took from YouTube, where we can see um, 4 or 5 variations, and it gives you an idea of the possibilities of this strategy. Okay, this option. Here we have an athlete that will. These names are okay as anything else. Okay, he makes only the triple extension, a slight triple extension. The bar is hanging, okay, on his hands. Then he's going to make exactly the same movement, but with a flight phase, okay, the jump in the first variation. He made the triple extension, but without the jump, without the ballistic movement, okay, if you want to call it that way. And then he releases his heels off the ground, okay, and puts more power in the movement, okay. Now he's going to make exactly the same alternatives, but from a lower position. The bar is resting on the floor, is going to produce power for in a longer movement, okay. The first one, he makes a triple extension, but without the flight phase, okay, without the jump, and then we will make exactly the same thing, but with the jump, okay, performing the movement from the original the snatch or the clean and jerk, okay. Here he has another alternative where he makes the same movement in his legs, but he makes the arms, the shoulders, the bicep working together with the legs, okay? A more complete movement that will demand more from his upper limbs, okay? Here the same thing, but from a lower position. This is just an example how you can take the original movements of Olympic weightlifting and make some variations as we make in kata when we want to improve a given part, a small part of a kata. We take it apart and we just go there and train. We don't make the whole kata to improve a specific part of it. We take it apart and we improve only that part we want to take to another level. The Olympic weightlifting, you can do exactly the same thing. Guys, thank you very much. I hope you learned, okay, a lot with this class. That's my goal. And don't forget to subscribe our channel, activate the notifications, go to our Telegram, our Instagram. I'm always posting new content, and I think it's really valuable for those who just aren't looking for some short tips to improve their training. I really want you to become independent, okay, in your coaching process with your athletes, okay. So wait you next week. Help me share these classes. Put a like, comment, put me your questions, and I'll answer as soon as possible, okay. Best regards and thank you very much.